Hey guys, Clone Guy here, and today we're going to be talking about update 4.13. My honest opinion on the matter. I played about 5 hours yesterday, so I think I've got a fairly good assessment of the matter. Two of the bigger things, in my opinion, that changed yesterday, or get introduced yesterday, was the more balanced distribution of platoons. And I will admit this is the case, not so much when you're playing solo. When you're playing solo, you don't notice it as much. Like in this game, there were 2 platoons on my team and 1 bottom tier platoon on the enemy. So that has not been fixed. You're still going to get crap matchmaking playing tier 8. And in fact, tier 8 matchmaking felt even worse yesterday when I was playing with my friend Koala, especially platooned, than it did in update 4.12. And I think platooning is going to screw you over so hard at tier 8. Because of this new matchmaking system where it matches you up against other platoons, which is good that you get matched up against other platoons, but it should also match you up against same tier platoons, which it did not do in this game, and it's not doing in 4.13. So if you're platooning at tier 8, not only are you screwing yourself over, you're screwing your team over because you're going to be bottom tier almost every single time. And that's just the assessment I have from it. And that it seems to be the truth in this game here. You see in the background my first game of the day, which is today. And there was a bottom tier platoon on the enemy team, and we have 2 mid tier platoons on my team, which is very fair, should I say, even though it really isn't, and they're probably not going to be much of a help to their team. And that's because being -2 is stupid, and you almost have no say. I don't care about you 2% players who say, oh yeah, but every once in a while we have that good game where we carry being bottom tier. Yeah, I don't care. I really don't care. What about those 98% of the games where you don't, you know? So, anyway. +1, -1 needs to be integrated for this platoon matchmaking to really work. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And the other thing they need to do with this platoon matchmaking to make it work is to, if the queue times are 5 seconds longer, then make them 5 seconds longer. What do you mean by this, Clone Guy? What I mean is, you should have to wait longer in the queue if you're platooned. And that may be like, what? Well, yeah, like if you platoon at tier 10, the game should have to wait for another tier 10 to platoon. And there are plenty of tier 10s to platoon. So, you won't be waiting long. Same with tier 8s. If you play at tier 8, platoon at tier 8, it should wait for another tier 8 platoon. I would much rather see 2 tier 10 platoons and 2 tier 8 platoons in a game. The same game. I'd rather be, should I say, in my tier 8 tanks, fighting against another tier 8 platoon while being bottom tier, than having to fight my 2 stock tier 8s versus a 430 in a machine platoon. Like, that's not fair. And of course the game isn't always going to be fair, but you know, that's the point of the developers. Let's try and make it as fair as possible, and that's just a simple thing they could do, because if you're platooning at tier 8, you're still going up against, you know, defenders and patriots, scorpion G's in your stock tanks, so you know, you're still going to have that as a disadvantage, but at least you won't be fighting, you know, tier 10s, should I say, or going up against a platoon of tier 10s. You still may go up against a platoon of tier 10s, but that's because your team also has a tier 10 platoon. So they definitely dropped the ball here. They failed integrating this. When I was platooned with Koala yesterday at tier 10, it felt like we had a huge advantage. And that's because the platoon distribution is not perfect. There will no longer be 3 platoons on one team and 2 on the other. There will always be 2 and 2 if there's 4 platoons in a game. However, if there are 3 platoons in a game, you'll have 2 on one team and 1 on the other. If there is 1 platoon, of course, 1 platoon will be on one team and none will be on the other. So when we were platooning at tier 10, they kept matching us up against tier 8 platoons, tier 9 platoons. We kept getting in games where there were no platoons. We got into games where we would have 2 platoons and the enemy team would have 1 platoon. And we were always top tier because we were at tier 10. And so I feel like platooning at tier 10 now has a huge a huge advantage, and it kind of screws over the tier 8s a whole lot, and even some tier 9s. It was kind of frustrating being at tier 9 because the same thing was happening while we were platooning at tier 9. And so definitely this Platoon matchmaking is good in theory, but they executed it wrong. Then what they need to do is, I think when Sony and Microsoft servers merge for Wargaming, then they need to do precise matchmaking. So a tier 10 platoon versus tier 10 platoon, tier 8 platoon versus tier 8 platoon, because there's going to be enough players to do that, for sure. So that's something I think they need to do. That's just my opinion. And another thing that they haven't fixed is the random lag spikes right when you're going in to attack somebody. It seems to happen only when it's needed. And right now I'm lagging bad, and for some reason my bars aren't dropping. There you go, another drop. You see that? And I meant to retrack it, but we were lagging, so I couldn't quite get my gun on him. And that's just how it works, the game. There's still something wrong with the servers. They haven't fixed their servers. It's their servers, trust me, it is. Because I had an instance yesterday where we had a reverse ghost shell, and that's where we were around a corner. The guy fired. He missed us, but the shell still hit us, and I watched the replay, and that was the case. It was like, what? You could see the shell missing us, but it still registered as it killing us, and that was a downloaded replay that we had. So now they have, like, inverted ghost shells, which is quite interesting indeed. I also have reports of players just not even being able to log in. I have people reporting of not being able to play the game anymore, where when they click on a tank, it says unsuccessfully resupplied tank or something like that, or unsuccessfully prepared tank for battle. And it's like, how does that work? How is that even possible? And so people aren't even able to play the game. A lot of people's controls got reset, so make sure you check your controls. Your controls may have been reset, so make sure they're not, because people were complaining about, like, now their reverse is inverted. I don't know why it resets to inverted reverse. That doesn't make any sense, but that's the case, and that's what's been happening. So just be wary of that. And in this game, you see, yet again, the enemy team has 2 platoons, my team has 1, and both of theirs are top tier, mine is bottom tier. And that was happening a whole lot. The matchmaker just doesn't seem to have the ability to literally wait a moment to grab, you know, another platoon to make it fair. There are plenty of platoons. And yesterday when we were playing, I was playing with Koala, I was in queue with Koala, we were playing tier 10, I was in my chisel, and there was 1 tier 8 in queue, 1 tier 9 in queue, and 47 tier 10s in queue. So yeah. So overall, I think they ruined matchmaking a little bit more, which is really kind of hard to do considering how bad it already is. But yeah, the matchmaking got hurt more. So that's update 4.13. So that's my take on the matchmaking. It's worse now. Unless you're playing tier 10s, then you get to platooning at tier 10, then you just get to dominate all day, every day. So congratulations, players at tier 10. So now that this is the case, they really need to introduce +1, -1, because the tier 8s who are platooning are just getting punched in the face repeatedly. So that needs to change for sure. They need, going forward, they have to fix this matchmaking. It has to be +1, -1 now, just because of this platoon matchmaking. It has to change. But moving on, do you see what's in the bottom of my screen? Those little ammo icons. Do you see how cartoonish they look? Whose idea? Please, please. I'm asking for a friend, and I'm asking for everybody. Who at Wargaming said, you know what needs fixing? +1, -1. Maybe matchmaker, maybe artillery. No. The ammo icons at the bottom need fixing. Whose idea was it to fix the ammo? Quote unquote, fix the ammo at the bottom. Look how cartoonish they look. They don't fit anymore. They don't belong here, in my own opinion. Like, look at this. Let's zoom in on these things. Those new icons do not fit the aesthetics of this game. Look at that. Now, of course, that's not game breaking, but it's still, why was that the priority? Why did that need fixing or changing? And it was distracting at first. It was like, what is going on? And I do notice that leopard behind me, but I'm just wondering how he's not dead yet. You know, he's like, okay, he's behind me, he'll die. But he's not. But, you know, it is what it is. And yeah, it was just like, okay, so this is what they decided to spend their money on, was changing the ammo icons? Okay. I mean, we've got the health kit, the repair kit. We have the tanks themselves, and they all look realistic and pretty cool. And then you have these ammo icons, which are so cartoonish, it hurts. Like, you can't get much more cartoonish than this. Like, it's a different game now. But yeah, they were distracting at first, and now not so much. But it's still just like, golly. I really want to know. I really want to know whose idea was this. But that's not all. Now we're gonna move into the forums. I'm not on the forums, but I was sent a screenshot, and I'll show you the screenshot now. So in the forums, Raybot made this post, and Raybot is the community manager. That means she is in charge of communicating with the community. She's in charge of the forums, and she's in charge of relaying information that the community has given her to wargaming. She's the bridge between us and wargaming. That's at least what she's supposed to be. Well, this is what she posted. She said, "Hello, tankers. Please share your feedback regarding the following game content for update 4.13 in this new post." It's like, that seems reasonable. Sweet. Let's go over there and let her know what we think. We don't like the new ammo icons. The matchmaking can be good, but at the same time, it's kind of screwing over tier 8s. You know, you can let them know about that, right? Wrong! If you look over in the top right corner, sorry, the middle right corner, really, you can clearly see it says, "You cannot reply to this topic." She has made a forum post for people to respond to and give their feedback to, which is locked. You cannot respond to it. If you have some opinions on the update, you have some improvements, some ideas, some just general good feedback, positive, negative, whatever it may be, constructive feedback, guess what? You cannot leave it. Too bad. No feedback for you. You get nothing. We don't care what you say, is pretty much what they're saying to us, because this is ridiculous. And it's the same thing with the bug fixes. The forum post that Raybot has created for bug fixes and bugs you've been experiencing is locked as well. The only people who can respond to them are forum ambassadors and moderators. So only the Wargaming butt kissers can actually respond. The ones who love Wargaming and want to get free stuff from Wargaming and want to be in the spotlight among Wargaming are the only ones who can actually respond to these. So it's quite interesting that the general community who are actually playing the game are not allowed to respond. So, well done. A+ to Wargaming for being fantastic at their job. Because, well, they're not. And so, my overall consensus of this update is it's update 4.12 but reskinned. And the proof is in the pudding. Look at my ammo icons. They've been reskinned. They reskinned my ammo icons for update 4.13. So that's evidence right there. It's been reskinned. So, what do I say about this update? Is it a good update? Is it a bad update? It's really a neutral update. They haven't done anything for the game. Nothing has improved. And they've kind of screwed over tier 8s. Like, hardcore. So if you quit the game during update 4.12, and you've been waiting for update 4.13 to come back, you may want to wait a little bit more. There's no reason to come back right now. The game's not any better. And you're going to be having the same experiences you had during update 4.12. So my consensus is if you stop playing the game before, do not come back yet. Wait till update 4.14, which I will have another video on, of course, when that comes out in 3 months. Hopefully they will do more than just changing the little tiny icons at the bottom of the screen. Hopefully they'll actually make some improvements, but that might be a little bit generous. Anyway, guys, that is my consensus of update 4.13. It right now is, well, bad. As simply as I can put it, it's bad. It's not good. It's not good, and I wish it was. But yeah, it's mostly just typo fixes that they fixed in the garage, and that's it. So that's the update. Thanks guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts on update 4.13 in the comments below. Make them honest. I will not be locking my comment section so that you can't leave your feedback. So leave some comments down below, and I'll see you guys all later. Take care, everyone, and peace out.